We're having a look at my lopsided lemon tree. It's a Four Seasons lemon, so it's full of fruit and full of flowers at the same time, which is such a wonderful thing. If you look here, I'll show you all the fruit. Got one down here. I have been slowly picking them off. And here's some beautiful flower buds coming. Lots of them there. And here we've got a little baby lemon, as well as a flower bud. And over here we have some more fruit. Beautiful yellow lemons. Some of them are hiding there. Let's just swivel this tree around a little bit. See a whole bunch of beautiful ripe lemons. Also some hiding up there under the leaves. The leaves are all very wet because I've given them their morning shower. I just spritz them with rainwater to keep the leaves hydrated because I don't water them very much, especially in the winter when they're kept indoors. There's another flower bud there because then it's not good for them to get root rot, everything. So I just keep them like I do with succulents. I wait until the top centimeters of the soil is dry. It's a bit dry now. And then I would give it a good drink. But look up here. This whole branch here is just getting covered in flower buds too. So what I want to do today is to actually prune this guy a little bit, bring down the height. He's getting really tall, and repot him. I think he needs a new pot. So we can give him a spring repotting and also pick off all these ripe lemons. And I was thinking I wanted to do something really special with them and not waste any bit of them because they're homegrown. I know that they're completely organic, unsprayed, and just so beautiful. So I thought it'd be really nice to actually use all of the lemon, not waste any of it. And I've recently eaten some preserved lemons that are preserved in salt. And it tastes absolutely fabulous. It sort of brings down the acidity of the lemons, but it just also enhances that amazing citrus flavor. So I want to pick all of these guys and pickle them and see how it goes. I think the whole process takes about a month or so. So it's not going to be an immediate thing, but I'm so looking forward to just doing it and tasting them in a month or two. So I'll pick all these guys. I think I've got 7 ripe lemons. So that's going to be fun. And then we'll do everything else. Look here. I'm also going to have a quick look for any bugs because I've become extra vigilant. When they're indoors, they can get really covered in bugs. And this weekend over Easter, we visited some friends, and their citrus tree was completely covered in bugs. So I was able to just have lots of fun trying to get rid of those bugs for them. It was a fun job. But bug attacks just happen so easily during the winter especially, so it's really a good idea to keep on top of the plants and just constantly check for little bugs. So I'll be doing that too. I think I saw something. I spotted perhaps a scale insect. Let's have a look. I think, see that one there? Where am I? There it is. That could be a little scale insect. But we'll have a closer look. And they're really easy to remove, especially when you haven't got millions of them crawling everywhere. But let's get on with picking all the beautiful lemons. I must admit I'm a little bit loath to pick them because they're so decorative, aren't they? But I also want to eat them. And I want to also give, oops, they're all dropping down. And I want to give the plant the best chance to grow more. And if I don't pick them, then they'll keep on wasting all this energy on these fruits that are already ready and not concentrate on ones that are coming, like these beautiful flowers. This little prune will just give the tree the extra energy it needs to grow lots of gorgeous flowers. And I love the smell of citrus blossom. If you haven't smelled it yet, it just smells like a perfume. It's absolutely amazing. And they're all different nuances depending on which tree it is. So I've got a blood orange, which is also going to be blooming really soon. And that one has a much sweeter scent. This one has sort of maybe a little bit more sour scent to it. It's definitely absolutely gorgeous. So I'll get on picking all these fruits and we'll just get pickling. I wish you could smell this. I mean, it's just the smell of lemons and they're so fresh. It doesn't get much fresher than this, just completely from the tree to the kitchen. Homegrown English lemons. So exciting. So I'm going to prepare them and we're going to get on with pickling. It's supposed to be a really simple recipe. I just chopped off the top and bottom and then split it down into quarters, but I kept the bottom intact. I mixed 50 grams of granulated sugar with 125 grams of molten sea salt. I really packed all the beautiful lemons with that salt and sugar mix, and now we're just going to refrigerate them for 24 hours. It's 24 hours later now, and as you can see, the salt has already started curing the lemons, and it's really drawn out loads of the juices. Probably very salty water or lemon juice actually. And so now we're just going to transfer all these lemons into a pickling jar. I have sterilized this jar, but I really do wish I had a smaller one. We'll have to make do. I'm going to go outside and pick a few bay leaves now. So here's my bay tree. This was a little tiny seedling when I bought it 6 years ago, and I intended to sort of trim it into a lollipop, but as you can see, it's just really branching out. So I'll need to decide exactly how to prune it later on. But for the moment, I just need to get 1 or 2 leaves now. So I'll find some fresh ones. It's evergreen, so it's had these leaves on all winter. And a few of them are looking a bit yellow, but they're looking really very good considering that it has been battered about by lots of storms. I'll just pick a few. I'll try to pick them from the branches that I may be pruning later on. So maybe to the tips of the branches. That one looks good, as does that one right there. Oh, maybe this one up here actually. Nice, really nice and fresh. That should do it. Okay, so I've got my 2 bay leaves here, nice and clean. I'll just toss them into the jar immediately, and we're going to transfer all these lemons into the jar. I want to keep everything as clean as I can, so I'll use these tongs, and we're going to really try to pack the lemons in, because if they're not packed in, they can kind of float around in the jar, and I want to avoid that. Here. So far so good. You see that? So if I actually had a smaller jar, it would have worked much better. I've got all these other lemons over here, you might have noticed, and they're just store-bought lemons. They just don't have that beautiful telltale smell. The smell from the lemons in the jar is just so wonderful. It's so citrusy, so lemony, and so salty. Really delicious. But these lemons here, I got them just so I can squeeze some lemon juice, because I had to transfer this salty lemon juice now. And what we want to do is make sure that it covers the lemon, so I might need extra lemon juice for that. So it will really need a lot more lemon juice. Let me just add some now. So slight change here. I managed to stuff the 7 homegrown lemons into a smaller jar, which is much more appropriate for it. And they're looking really good. They're all covered with lots of lemon juice and the extra salt. Got those little bay leaves down there from the garden, looking beautiful. So I'm just really, really looking forward to tasting these again in a month's time. What I'm going to do now is just cover it up, and that's it. It is so easy to do. It's supposed to be like really nice and Mediterranean. And I really can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to tasting these. So I'll do a taste test in about a month's time. We're just back with my lemon tree because I have repotted it. I found a nice big terracotta pot for it. And I just did it with some ericaceous compost, which seems to work just fine. They're a little bit of acid lovers here. So hopefully it will do really well. It will just give it enough nutrients, I think, to start shooting out and opening those beautiful flowers. It's got so many flower buds, as we showed yesterday. So it's going to be really fun and sweet smelling to see them blooming in the next couple of days. Here's some more all along this branch. There's lots of little flower buds. Really exciting. They're sort of popping up all over. And also, while I had the soil out, I got my kumquat repotted too. This is one that I just bought from the supermarket because I couldn't resist temptation. It was just so beautiful. We have been picking the fruit, which are so tasty. They're these little miniature citrus here, and they just taste really, really sweet and sour. So the inside pulp is really, really sour. It's like really sharp, and then the actual peel is super sweet, and you just eat the whole thing, and it's so delicious that we just are eating them all raw and adding them to salads and salsas and things, and just wonderful, absolutely enjoying them. But it's been losing so much foliage since I got it. It's looking quite bare now. So I have repotted it. The soil it was in was really, really heavy, sort of clayish kind of, just, yeah, really heavy stuff. So now it's in some more ericaceous stuff. Tried to move as much as I could. There were lots of roots down there, but it's in a slightly larger pot than it was, and I think it'll be happy. And once we get good weather, sort of by May, I'm hoping to put all my trees outside. I'm going to hold off a little bit because we're having roof work done, and so I'm going to keep them inside for longer than I might have done otherwise. But I would always wait until all danger of frost is gone before popping them out in the garden, and they tend to really enjoy their time out there, just having fresh air. It gets rid of any bugs they might be having, and I'm always on the lookout for bugs too, as I said earlier. But really hoping they'll do well, and I'm going to keep on giving them their daily spritzes of water to keep the leaves really hydrated. And this one is in a pot right now because I'm actually giving it a good drink, and I don't want the water to leak out onto the floor, so I tend to put them into little pots so they can catch all drips, and then when they're had a good drink, I can just dry it off and put it back on its little stool over there. But that's how I do it. And if you've stayed with me this long, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and hopefully I'll have some beautiful citrus blossom to share with you very soon.